This is Relationship Connect, building a healthy relationship.
Some of y'all think, Pastor Myles is crazy. Years ago I told you when I first got married, 32 years ago in BFM, I told you, I said, look, I expect nothing from my wife, Ruth Ann, nothing. And today she'd tell you, I expect nothing. She ironed my shirt yesterday. I told her, what you doing? We in the room, but she ironed my shirt. I said, honey, I had done wake up ready to iron that. Why? Because I don't expect you to iron it. So I tell her, thanks. Every time she cooks, I tell her thanks. Why? When I come out ready to cook. When you expect nothing, you prepare to do it yourself. And when someone does it, you appreciate it. This is real. You walk in the house, where my food, woman? What you talking about? You just destroyed the relationship. She been working all day too. What's your problem? She just got home 5 o'clock. What's wrong with you? Put pressure on these people, man. Listen, if you love someone, you anticipate the need. Why don't you bring food home already cooked for her? Why don't you buy something for her? Anticipate she tired too. Lord have mercy, help me, Jesus. Why don't you go home early and let her meet you cooking already? Blow her mind. Say, I anticipated you'd be tired, baby. And I cooked filet mignon with baked potatoes, with some asparagus on the side, with cheese on the top, baby. I knew you'd be hungry. That's love. Walking there with my food. What you mean, where your food? I wake up, get out of bed, I make the bed. My wife said, what you doing? I said, I slept in this bed. She said, you don't got to do that. I said, I know, but I expect to do it. I don't expect you to do this. That's why we are so close. That's why we love each other so much. Because there's no reason for our love. You got to get rid of it. Conditions destroy. I don't know why I love you. Let me give you a final thought here. Next, if we can pick up here. Number 8. The death of a marriage goes deeper. It creates dysfunctional families. Kids without 2 parents in the same house. So the kids grow up now with a defect. And usually a divorced parent will breed a divorced child who also gets a divorce. In other words, number 1 destroys society. And that's how deep that is. When you find a reason for your love, you are destroying the Bahamas. Because you are creating criminals, potential broken homes, broken hearts, just by the decision to have a reason for loving a person. It goes all the way to the social decay in a country. Selah. We don't understand love. It ain't kissing and hugging and touching nobody's body parts. Love is so deep. We are still in eros. We need to go to the kingdom level. And number 10. Social decay results in community destruction. You want to destroy a community? Find a reason for your love. So your relationship is personal, but it's never private. It affects all of us. All of us. Some of you in this room, your parents got a divorce. And you were 14 or maybe 12, and you are still trying to recover mentally. You live between 2 houses. You're making appointments to see your parent. I mean, this is not easy. There's psychological issues going on here that people don't understand. I was talking to a young lady the other day up in New Jersey. She said, Pastor Myles, I just want to see my daddy. I just want to see him. I understood what she was saying. She said he lives in California on the West Coast. I just want to see him. I'm at the age in my life now where I need to hear a father talk to me, she says. I got some decisions to make and I need a daddy. I just held her. She was 22. Social dysfunction. Look, I know there are many conditions in this room, but I'm dealing with the hope part. Let the future be better than the present. You are not married? Learn this lesson today. If you have been married and you plan to get married again, learn this lesson today. Go into relationships with sobriety. Ask God to give you wisdom and make decisions even though they might be hard decisions. Break off some relationship that ain't, it ain't right. Break it off now because you're on your way to destruction. Some of you got some friends you involved with right now talking about you plan to get married. You better take this session to them and say, let me check you out closely. Because my life is too important to walk around with a broken heart the rest of my life. And bring them next week. Bring all of them who you know to the session next week. Collect them up. Tell them come. We need sense. Let's go get some sense. Because we are destroying our country. Because we don't understand love. You love this man. Don't put no condition on him. He may get fired in the morning or get laid off. And he comes home with a pink slip. Man, what you going to do? And he tells you, we got to move back in an apartment. We got to give him this house. Do you still love him? Or do you attack him? You're a failure. I should have never married in the first place. Woman, you need Jesus. Your expectations create the problems. I love you if you got nothing. I love you if you got something. What love is this? That's the love that works. Let that love be shed abroad in your heart by the Holy Spirit. Let me close with a verse. Read out loud, please. When you make a vow to God, do not delay to fulfill it. You come down that aisle in your white dress, and you stand there with your tuxedo and your black suit, and you stand before God, and you start opening your mouth. Here's what God says. When you make a vow to God, do not delay to fulfill it. Because God has no pleasure in fools. He called you a foolish person if you stand there saying, I love you till death do I part, and you don't know what you're talking about. You make a vow, he says, and you don't fulfill it. I have no pleasure in fools. So fulfill your vow, he says. It is better not to vow, verse 5, than to make a vow and not fulfill it. Do not let your mouth, it says, do what? Lead you into sin. Don't rush to no altar. By the way, the most important statement in that verse is God. Is God. You never make vows to people. You make promises to people. Vows are only made to God. What you're telling God is, if I don't keep this, you can judge me. It's different from a promise. You can break a promise, but you can't break a vow. Because a vow attracts judgment. He says, do not protest to the temple messenger and say, my vow was a mistake. You ever heard that? I made a mistake marrying you. God said, you should never come to this house and say that in front of me. These are verses you never saw. made a mistake. Why should God be so angry at what you say and destroy the work of your hands? Much dreaming and many words are meaningless. He said, you dreaming, man. I love you. And in sickness and in health. What is this again? Poverty and wealth. Richer for poorer. Yeah, boy, we don't mean that. Many words. You broke, I gone. Richer is good, poorer, I gone. We make vows. God says, what are you doing? You giving this to me, you know. These words he put in my hands. You giving me the power to judge you. This ain't to no preacher. This is to me. Slow down. Take your time. Look at the last part. He says, therefore, stand in awe of God. That means don't rush to no church with no bride dress. Don't buy no tuxedo too fast and get 5 men to stand with you with bow tie. Slow down. He says here, stand and be in fear of God. Be afraid to come down that aisle. Our problem is we ain't afraid no more. Well, if it doesn't work, I guess I'll get another one. Let me go down here and try this one. And you keep changing people. And both parties do it. Everyone's doing it. It's like people think this is a game. God says, look, be afraid of me, because I will judge you. May God have mercy on us. I want you to just write this down. Promises are made to humans and can be broken. I love you. You're the only one I love. That's a promise. Don't trust that. They need to say that to God. Then they're under judgment. Promises have no consequences. Vows have consequences. That is why when you make a vow before the altar, have you noticed? Here's what you say. I promise to love you, to care for you, in sickness and in health, in riches and poverty. Watch this. Until death. The death is the judgment. You're telling God, if I don't keep this, you could kill me. It has an inherent judgment in it. Promises don't. An engagement is a promise. A marriage, a wedding is a vow. You can break off an engagement without consequences before God. But you can't break off a vow. God will judge you. There are folks in this room who've experienced, they've been under judgment. They know what it feels like. They break that vow. They suffer some things, some death in their spirit, death in their emotions. They hurt so deep no one could explain the hurt. That's judgment. So if you're married, Paul says stay married. Fight for it. Try your best to put it back together. You don't want the judgment on you. If you're being divorced, thank God for this session. Go buy the CD, listen to it 10 times, and if anybody wink at you, tell them listen to this too. It's 14 times. Because I ain't going twice in the wrong direction.
I'm sure you've learned a lesson or two from this video. Please like this video and share with a friend or your family member so that they can also be blessed by this message. There are other related videos to this showing right on your screen, so click to watch more.